Stop! Get off of me! Get off of me! My child is in the car! Stop! Get off of me! You're gonna make me drop my phone! Please set my phone down!
Welcome back to Enforced, where we cover the most shocking and controversial police body cam footage. Today, we're uncovering the baffling truth behind 5 cases where idiot cops tried to arrest lawyers and got owned. For our first clip, we take you to Florida, where the state's only black state attorney, Aramis Ayala, is being pulled over by 2 police officers. Ayala was on her way back to her home after teaching a class at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University when she was stopped abruptly by 2 police officers.
What agency are you with?
I'm the state attorney.
State attorney. Alright. Thank you. Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before.
At this point, the cop's attitude and tone suddenly change. He knows that the state attorney can quite easily open an investigation into this, and if the stop is deemed unlawful or racially motivated, he'll have to kiss his career goodbye.
I'm sorry? Yeah. We're good now.
So it was...
We ran the tag. I've never seen it before. A Florida tag. It's never come back to anything before. So that's the reason for the stop.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time, whether it's at traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing. Also, the windows are really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop.
Alright. Do you guys have cards on here?
Yeah, one second. Actually, this isn't my car, but I can write my name down if you'd like. Ready? There you are. Have a good day.
The officer tells Ayala that her license plate did not come back as registered to any vehicle and that her windows are really dark. Ayala asks for the officer's cards and the video ends. Prominent activists, including DeRay McKesson and Sean King, have tweeted their criticisms of the traffic stop. The Orlando Police Department stated that the video was released as part of a public records request and that its officers routinely run tags on patrol. Ayala said in a statement that she violated no laws and that her license plate was properly registered. She agreed that the traffic stop was consistent with Florida law, but still merited a conversation with law enforcement. Although the state attorney did not initiate a lawsuit, this could have very easily gone wrong for the police officers, since by the looks of it, this was a case of racial profiling. On July 10, 2021, civil rights attorney Emmanuel Olawale was in the process of moving some bags of trash from his vehicle to a dumpster behind his rented office in Westerville, Ohio. Suddenly, officers Dan Ruth and Matthew Ballman of the Westerville Division of Police pulled in behind him, exited their vehicle, and approached him. According to a statement from the Westerville Chief of Police, concerns about illegal dumping are a common reason for officer investigations. But what would happen next? The tension was palpable as the officers approached Mr. Olawale.
Hi there.
My office is here.
Your office is here?
I own an office here.
Okay, which office is it?
The Olawale law firm.
The what?
Here's my business card.
Okay, Suite 160. Okay.
If you need my
All right.
ID,
Huh?
I can show you my ID.
If you don't mind, just so, yeah, if you don't mind, can we see your ID?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's a slick business card.
Yep.
All right. I'll give it to him. You can keep doing what you're doing. We're just, again, we're kind of concerned. Yeah, seeing somebody dump a bunch of stuff there. So,
Can I have it back? No, don't run it. Don't run my card. Don't run my ID.
Huh?
Don't run my ID.
Don't run your ID.
You have no reason to.
Well, we're going to at least mark it down. We're going to take down your information.
Nope.
Despite Mr. Olawale offering evidence to show that he was not committing a crime, the officers insisted on writing down his name for their report. But what does the law say about this? According to Supreme Court precedent, if the information discovered during an officer stop investigation, including the evidence provided by the suspect, dispels the reasonable suspicion, they cannot continue to detain the individual. However, the detainee is not obliged to respond, and unless their answers provide the officer with probable cause to arrest them, they must be released.
I'm on my property, putting trash in my
Okay, but this is not just your property. It's several people's property.
I understand.
Okay.
But I'm not violating any law. So don't
No
run
one
my
said that
ID.
you're violating any law.
No. Don't run my ID. I'm a lawyer. I know my rights.
Okay.
I'm not violating any law. I'm on my property. There's no suspicion. No one called anybody. So don't run my ID. I only identify myself so that this won't escalate.
That's fine, but we can still mark down who we're out with, and so that's what we're going to do.
No.
Yes.
You didn't stop me. Don't turn
Yes.
this into an issue.
Sir, you are turning this into an issue. We're just simply marking down who we're out with.
Yeah.
So he's just going to write it down on a piece of
Oh,
paper.
it's just your name.
Why?
Because, sir, we are out with you because we were concerned that you were illegally dumping.
But you've already discovered. Do you want me to show you my office?
I understand that you're here, but I don't know if this dumpster belongs to you or somebody else in the
It belongs
complex.
to me.
Although Mr. Olawale offered proof that he was a tenant in the building, he did not provide proof that he was privileged to use the dumpster, making it possible that a court can find that the officers were justified in continuing their investigation until they obtained evidence to dispel their suspicions. However, this is a long shot. In normal circumstances, the police officers would simply let the suspect go since nothing illegal was going on. But a law in the state of Ohio does state that if an individual consensually provides their ID, the officer can write down information from it without triggering the Fourth Amendment. Looks like the officers were trying to do exactly this, but Mr. Olawale was having none of it.
You and you alone.
Yes.
Can you prove that that dumpster belongs to you and you alone?
This dumpster belongs to the property.
Okay,
and I'm
that's
dumping my stuff in there.
That's my point, though, is that if it's also other units.
So what? It belongs to everybody. We're paying for
Okay.
it. It doesn't really matter if it belongs to all the unit.
That's fine.
Just give me back my ID. Thank
Fair.
you.
After a tense encounter with Westerville police officers, civil rights attorney Emmanuel Olawale took to social media to allege that racial bias played a role. In response, the Westerville police chief requested an investigation and released body cam footage, concluding that the officer's behavior was professional and polite. But Mr. Olawale wasn't convinced. He stated that he would file an official complaint if he thought it would make a difference, but believed the department's statement was tone-deaf. The incident raises questions about departmental policies requiring officers to document citizens they contact, even if no crime has been committed. These policies often clash with the Fourth Amendment and leave citizens feeling violated. Is identifying innocent civilians for the sake of departmental policy really protecting and serving the community? This mentality could produce more constitutional conundrums if left unchecked. Next, we take you to California, where a police officer is about to ask a seemingly normal person for his ID, but the cop has no idea he's going to go against someone who knows his rights much better than an average citizen: a lawyer.
Hi there. How are you? You have your license, sir?
No, you can't ask for that unless I'm committing a crime, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, you're acting suspicious here.
You better, California Penal Code. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
For what? California Penal Code 148.G. I'm doing a story on your police department, and now you're going to be, anything from here on, you're going to get charged by the minute. You better get a hold of supervisor. First Amendment protected activity. You're not going to get no ID, okay? 148.G and Fordyce versus Seattle. You still want to detain me?
The lawyer knows his laws. He mentions the exact clause of the penal code that makes his activity lawful. The lawyer is doing a story on the police department and threatens to charge the cop by the minute if he doesn't get a supervisor. The lawyer also cites Fordyce v. Seattle, a case in which Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals held that the First Amendment protects the right to film matters of public interest. The lawyer is keeping the cop accountable and making sure he's doing his job. He warns that if he's arrested, he'll sue.
Here's the thing.
I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Go get a supervisor or arrest me, and you're going to get sued. I'm doing a First Amendment lawful protected activity. I'm keeping you accountable. I'm here to make sure you're doing your job, and right now you're about to violate my civil rights because you're detaining me, and I'm not doing anything criminal.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
The cop eventually backs down and thanks the lawyer for wishing him a good day. This exchange is a powerful example of knowing your rights and standing up for them in the face of authority. And now onto Lincoln County, where dumb cops make a huge mistake and arrest a lawyer. This time, a Lincoln County sheriff in Michigan arrested constitutional lawyer Catherine Henry. It all went down on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. Kathy was collecting signatures for a petition for her organization for a Michigan constitutional amendment outside of a polling place in Allegan County, Michigan. She was in compliance with all the laws, which mainly state that she has to be 100 feet away from the doorway of the polling booth. But the county officials had a problem with her political movement and threatened her with arrest if she didn't leave. They claimed she was violating an unlawful resolution they created that says you can only park on county property long enough to conduct your business. Even though that resolution is unlawful, Kathy was conducting First Amendment protected activities and that was her business. The county just didn't like it.
I have this deputy here who says that he's arresting me and he's towing my car.
I'm asking you to leave, and if you won't leave, then you will be arrested.
He's saying that the
I asked for your ID.
Yes. I'm sorry. Just
I asked for your ID. I don't. That's not how it works. You're very
no,
full
you
of
already
yourself.
are violating the law.
I'm not violating any law.
You're violating the law.
I asked you for your ID, and you did not
You are not even following the resolution from the county or from the township. The one that you guys gave us earlier, the one that you were reading from. Did you read it? It says you can't stop us. You're not touching my car.
Yeah, we're gonna.
No, you're not.
So are you willing to leave? Yes.
You have no right to do this.
Are you willing to leave?
You do realize it's abusive process and malicious prosecution. Yes, you're violating federal. I don't care. You're on the hook, not him.
No preference? Okay.
You have no right to do this to me.
In this intense showdown between attorney Catherine and the cops, things get heated as Catherine stands her ground and refuses to back down. The cops demand that she leave, but Catherine knows her rights and isn't afraid to speak up. She even calls out the cops for violating the law and not following the county resolution. But the cops aren't backing down either. They threaten to arrest Catherine if she doesn't leave, but she's not going down without a fight. She even tries to reason with them, citing the law that allows her to disseminate campaign literature on Election Day as long as she's beyond 100 feet from the entrance.
Just asking you guys to read it. Nothing in this resolution shall be construed to interfere with MCL 168.931K, which allows, guys, it allows a person to disseminate campaign literature on Election Day when a person is beyond 100 feet from an entrance.
But things take a turn for the worse when the cops try to arrest her. Catherine pleads with them to stop, even mentioning that her child is in the car. But the cops don't listen and continue with the arrest.
Go ahead and turn around.
Stop, get off of me! Get off of me! My child is in the car, stop! Get off of me! You're gonna make me drop my phone. Please, when you set my phone down, I'm going to stop right there.
This is absolutely unnecessary.
If you are stop, please, I'm asking you. I will leave right now. My child is in the, I will leave right now. Can you just let me vote? I want to vote, and then you can arrest me.
You vote at this precinct?
No.
Okay. So you don't have that here?
I do, right there. My child is here.
Okay, are you too willing to leave?
No, you do not. I'm not.
I just voted. That's all I did, and I signed a petition, so I'm just a bystander, sir.
Please, my child is in the car.
After attorney Catherine was taken to the police station, all charges were dropped and she was let go. Catherine, in her podcast with a local reporter, said that she was manhandled by the police and that she received minor injuries. As of now, the cops have a huge lawsuit coming at them. Although they arrested Catherine that day, the battle is far from over. If they are found guilty of breaching Catherine's rights, the cops could face both criminal and civil charges. This can include both compensatory and punitive damages, along with possible reprimand from their department. It's safe to say that Catherine won't let these cops get off the hook anytime soon. And lastly, we take you to Amado, Arizona, where a defense attorney is about to show the local immigration officers who's the boss. In March of 2016, defense attorney Robert J. Campos and his investigator, former Highway Patrol Officer Jess Torres, traveled to Nogales, Arizona to interview Homeland Security officers for a large drug case they were defending. But on their way back to Phoenix, they were stopped at a permanent Border Patrol checkpoint on I-19 just north of Tubac, Arizona. This is how the conversation went.
So, am I being detained?
Yes, you are being detained for an immigration inspection.
Really?
INA 287. The Supreme Court has decided, Martinez Fuerte,
really,
that everybody has to stop.
And you have probable cause of belief I'm not a U.S. citizen?
No, I don't have to.
How are we doing today?
Good.
This gentleman decided that he doesn't want us to answer if he's a U.S. citizen or not, and that if we don't have probable cause.
Which one? Me?
Yeah.
Me? You? Yes.
So you do understand the purpose of an immigration checkpoint, correct?
I sure do.
Okay.
Well, do you have reasonable suspicion that I've committed a crime?
No, I don't. But what I do have is the right to question you. According to the United States versus Martinez Fuerte, I can't keep you here until I'm satisfied that you're a United States citizen. Do you understand that?
Well, no, I haven't committed any crime. You have no probable cause.
I'm not asking you if you committed a crime. I'm asking you if you're a United States citizen.
I don't have to answer that.
Actually, you do, sir.
Really?
And I can't keep you here until I'm satisfied.
Really?
Yes. And let me tell you this right now, okay? Since you're the driver of the vehicle, what you are doing is blocking traffic.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Okay, so can you pull over there to second there for me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
In this intense showdown between defense attorney Robert J. Campos and the immigration officers, things get heated as Robert stands his ground and refuses to back down. The officers claim that they have the right to detain him for an immigration inspection, but Robert isn't having it. He demands to know if they have probable cause to believe he's not a US citizen and questions their authority to detain him. The officers try to explain their rights under the law, citing the Supreme Court case of Martinez Fuerte, but Robert isn't backing down. He continues to assert his rights and refuses to answer their questions. The officers claim that they can keep him there until they're satisfied that he's a US citizen, but Robert isn't budging. Finally, the officers ask Robert to pull over so they can continue their questioning, but Robert remains firm in his belief that he hasn't committed any crime and doesn't have to answer their questions.
Hello?
Are you a citizen?
I don't have to answer that question, sir.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Arizona 2829.
Yeah. And how are you guys related?
Yankee Kilo Papa.
I'm not going to answer your question. Do you
Why
have
not?
probable cause that I've committed a crime and done something illegal?
No, I don't.
Then I should be
That has
allowed to
nothing
go
do
on
with
my
it.
way.
That's nothing. Probable cause has nothing to do with what we're
Well,
doing.
do you have reasonable suspicion I've committed a crime?
You don't need reasonable suspicion for immigration inspection.
Do you think we have reasonable suspicion that I'm not a U.S. citizen?
We don't need reasonable suspicion.
Okay, then why am I being detained?
Because we're conducting an immigration inspection.
Really? You have a right to ask me if I'm a U.S. citizen. I have a right to say I don't want to answer that.
That's true.
And so you have no other cause to hold me.
Robert continues to assert his rights and questions the officer's authority to detain him. The officer claims that they don't need reasonable suspicion for an immigration inspection, but Robert isn't backing down. He points out that while the officer has the right to ask if he's a U.S. citizen, he also has the right to refuse to answer.
So I'm going to need you to step out.
Am I being ordered to step out, officer?
The attorney remains calm and composed throughout the encounter, refusing to answer questions and demanding to know on what authority he's being detained. He even asks for a complaint form so he can fill a formal complaint against the officers for violating his rights.
Who is the officer in charge here? Myself. Okay, and how do I formally file a complaint?
File a complaint about what, sir? That you refuse to answer questions related to the immigration process, which this is an immigration checkpoint.
I'm going to be polite, officer. I am just asking a simple question. To whom do I file a complaint?
I can get you a complaint form that you're more than welcome to fill out and send in.
I would like that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
There you are, sir.
Thank you very much.
You have a good day.
You too.
All right.
This exchange perfectly sums up how authoritarian and unnecessary checkups should be dealt with. The attorney could have given his ID and shown where and why he was at the border crossing, but since the immigration officers didn't have any reasonable suspicion to stop them, he didn't back down and stood by his rights. Safe to say that the immigration officers finally met their match.